Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yes, my name is Nadahl Shocair. I have a weird name, but I'm an American from Texas. I am the business transformation expert. I'm also the CEO of Silicon Alley here in Berlin. We're the English voice of the startup community here. And if you don't know Silicon Alley, I would suggest that you come and visit one of our several sites. I come from a background of restructuring and turnarounds, having worked across the world saving troubled companies and underperforming companies in the areas of semiconductors, software development, and telecommunications. My passion is building high-impact, high-growth businesses. I'm a business builder. And so during the past years, I have met several companies that have suffered from certain pitfalls and became underperforming and ended up in real trouble. So, assuming you get funded here or later with a venture capital round or whatever round, know that 80% of you will not make it past 5 years. We all know that. And out of the ones who make it, only 3 out of 5 make it to 10 years. I think it's a dismal statistic, and I've noticed that there's a common thread across all these turnarounds that I did over the years. And no matter where they are, if they're in Japan or China or the US or here, it's always the same things. So I'm here to give you an outline of a methodology. And you need to focus on this outline over and above the great technology that you're building and everything else. These are practical pieces of advice. Because if you imagine your operating system on your computer not working, none of the software is going to work very well. And it's the same with your business. So to strap a rocket on your back, here we go. The impact area number 1 you need to focus in on is it starts with your people. Make certain that you've surrounded yourself with the best people that are able to cover every aspect of your business. The best teams always have the best players. But these best players must know how to play well with each other. So take care of your people, and they take care of your business. It's not the customer first, it's actually your own people first. This is one of the first things that I always find wrong with businesses that are in trouble. Impact area number 2, your positioning. We all think in market categories or in categories, and then we choose the brand associated with that category. This is how winning companies are positioning themselves in our minds and our collective consciousness. I'll give you a few examples. So if you needed to fly low cost to London, the first name that's associated with that category is EasyJet. We know that. If I say now let's all go get a hamburger, the category hamburger, we all say McDonald's. And the names that pop in your mind, whether it be a social network, a business social network, or a German business social network, are all categories that are related directly to a brand immediately in your head. There's a direct connection. And so your job is to create the market category and associate your brand to it so that they become interlinked into the collective consciousness of the market that you're addressing. This is critical. If you don't do that, you're going to have trouble. Impact area number 3. You have to align your product to the category that you've positioned yourself into. And you create that product and keep it very, very tight. It's very easy and tempting to sort of go all over the place. Never do that. Imagine, we talked about McDonald's. Imagine if we just walked into McDonald's, 4 of us, for example, and suddenly the whole menu is fried chicken. Doesn't fit anymore in our minds. So don't misalign, because misalignment causes havoc in your business and it causes failure. Impact area number 4, customers. Who is the customer, really? Please never fall into this trap of this B2B and B2C and all that. I don't like to hear that. I always like to hear exactly who is your customer. Tell me. And don't tell me males 18 to 24. That doesn't fly with me. So narrow your focus as tightly as you can. If you can't identify them, You can't create a product for them that is aligned with your positioning. You just can't do it. So get as many good customers as you can, and don't be afraid to fire the bad customers. People have this fear of actually firing customers. When I go into a company, I fire customers all the time. I actually have standard letters for that. So don't be afraid to fire not okay customers. It's all right. Impact area number 5 is your marketing. This is where a lot of people go wrong. Your primary marketing objective is to build your market category, what we spoke about before, own the position in the mind, and lock your brand to it. That's the main objective of your marketing. So when EasyJet, we talked about EasyJet, entered your mind as the low-cost carrier, they own that category in your mind. They own it. They made their product fit the category in your mind. So now every time you want to fly low cost, you automatically think EasyJet and you use them. That's why they're winning. Everything they do promotion-wise, if you see their posters about low cost in the center of the page, and EasyJet's somewhere there, and of course they cover it with their own color of branding for association's sake. Think about that. So your objective is to market the category. Don't market the product and don't market your company. Market the category. McDonald's markets hamburgers, and they associate the brand with that. Very, very critical. So market the category and link all your communication to that and brand it. And so marketing essentially has 2 objectives. 1 is to market the category and you link your brand to it, and 2, generate leads for sales. A lot of people forget that somehow in marketing. Marketing departments always forget generating leads for sales, always. Whether you call those, sales for members or fans or whatever you want to call them, they're still customers, one way or the other. Impact area number 6 is sales. I don't know who said that. Maybe it was Lou Gerstner. He said, I think it was him. He said, nothing happens until somebody sells something. It's true. So to run a successful sales process, you need to break it down into steps, and maybe 4 steps, 3 or 4 steps, and no more. And your objective, or the salespeople's objectives, whether you're selling direct or indirect or through a website or whatever it is that you're trying to get fans or members or whatever it is that you need to do, is to run through the process of always selling them the next step. The number of times I've seen problems in sales departments and salespeople that don't know how to sell the next step. They can't break it down. They always try to sell the end result. The end result comes if you sell the next step. So your job is to think about the ratios in sales. So how many prospects, conversions, and conversions to sales. And your job is to keep improving those ratios regularly. Keep training people, keep improving the ratios, and your numbers will go up. Finally, quantify what the lifetime value of each customer is. A lot of people don't do that. I ask someone, what's the value of this customer lifetime? Nobody knows. It's important to do that. I'll give you an example. My barber. I go to him about 18 times a year. I spend $40 per haircut. So that's about 720 plus tips. Let's say $800 a year. So I spend $4,500 with this guy every single year. And he's a real jerk. And once I told him, I said, no, you're a real jerk. I'm worth $4,500 to you every single year. He never thought of that. I said, over 5 years, you know what I'm worth? And the other 200, 300, 400 people here, next time I went, he had a coffee machine. So think about the lifetime value of the customer. Impact area number 7 is power pricing. How are you priced? Are you able to dollarize the benefit of your product or services or whatever it is you're offering to the market? If you can't associate the value in dollars, you may have a problem. Because if you do not price yourself correctly, you're going to price yourself out of business. I wish you will always remember what I just said. Impact area number 8, cash. Every morning when you wake up as a founder, ask yourself if you're building a financially viable business. That's critical. What is your business model? And what I mean by that is, how does the cash flow? Focus daily on the cash flow, not the P&L. Watch your expenses and always ask yourself if that expense is really, really, really absolutely necessary. Because when you've got $2 million from a VC, you know, it's easy to go have a party, right? I've seen it actually. If you're selling on credit, watch your cash collection. Always cash collections. First thing in the morning, you need to ask, how much cash have we collected yesterday? And then bottom line to me is build shareholder equity. Because I come into situations where the shareholder equity is negative. That's a very bad scenario. So you need to work on that. And leave the P&L to your accountant. Look at it once a month, if you want to. Maybe your VC may want you to look at it once a week. But cash flow is the name of the game. Cash. Finally, impact area number 9 is process. Think about all of your impact areas that I just mentioned before. This is the operating system of your business, and make sure that the processes that you have in place are always running systematically. Whether it be sales or marketing, whatever it is that I mentioned before, they all have to be running systematically. I know in the entrepreneurial world it's a whole different thing, but actually you don't want to be a statistic of the 80% that fail within the first 5 years. Make sure that your foundation is solid. So when you create systems and processes, you will run your business well, you can predict it, build out your KPIs correctly, and it will allow you to inspect in your business what you expect out of your business. And people always wonder, how do these public companies actually predict what's going to happen in the next quarter? This is how they do it. So let me end with this. There was a story about Socrates that I like. Once a man went to Socrates and asked Socrates, "Socrates, what is the secret of success?" So Socrates answered, said, "I'll meet you down by the river and I will show you." So they went down to the river. Socrates asked the man to walk in the river with him. And as the river got deeper, up to the neck of the man, he grabbed his hair and dunked him into the water. And Socrates was really powerful. And the man struggled trying to come out for air. Wouldn't let him. And he turned blue and he turned purple and he was about to die. And then Socrates let him up. And he gasped for air. And Socrates asked him, "What is it that you wanted most when I dunked you in the river?" He said, "I wanted air." He said, "That's the secret of success if you want something that bad." So good luck to you with your pitches to the VCs. And I hope you do your deals. But don't forget to run a strong, viable, and zooming business. Thank you.